All right, now welcome back. This year's State of the Nation address will be held at Cape Town City Hall after a fire gutted Parliament last month. Has the change in venue translated in changes in planning in the lead up to SONA? Well, eNCA's Monique Mortlock is at City Hall for us to give us a sneak peek, and she joins us now live. Monique, I saw you speaking to our other colleagues, eNCA Larson as well as Tafuma earlier on. It looked very different to what we're used to, but of course, Parliament had no choice but to take SONA there. In terms of the logistics, what difference are you seeing, especially because that 2 million rand that was initially planned for SONA has now gone up?
Yes, exactly. Parliament has budgeted 4 million rand for this year's SONA, and it's largely because of the massive transformation that the City Hall has had to undergo. For example, much of this money is being spent on installing broadcasting equipment, which you'll see in a moment. I'm going to ask my colleague Lance to show you that in a moment, and also translation services. I just want Lance to show you what the chamber looks like. This is where the MPs will be seated. Now, we know that this year only 289 MPs will be allowed to attend SONA physically. The overflow of MPs will be seated on top in the gallery, along with some guests, and there are also other sections where some VIP guests will be seated. You can see on the side of the hall on top. And what parliamentary spokesperson Moloto Motapo told us a little earlier is that it's really been quite a mammoth task just transforming the space, because when the City Hall was handed over to Parliament, all that was here was basically the chairs and what you see around us. These are all the things that Parliament has brought in. We still need to get the national flag being hoisted up. I'm going to ask Lance just to show you on the other side of the chamber, on top of the stage. This is where President Cyril Ramaphosa is going to be delivering his State of the Nation address, and where the presiding officers will be seated. We are at the moment waiting for the presiding officers, that's Speaker Nosiviwe Mapisa-Kpakula, as well as the National Council of Provinces Chair Amos Masondo to arrive. And what they are going to be doing is just doing a walkabout of the precinct, of the chambers, and also of the outside of the City Hall. That's where all the military parade and where President Cyril Ramaphosa will be arriving tomorrow evening. And what you're seeing inside at the moment in the chambers is just a hive of activity, and this is mirrored outside as well, where security measures have really been stepped up, because you can imagine with a change in venue comes all sorts of logistics that have needed to be sorted out with security measures and the like, and also with COVID-19 safety protocols. In fact, before you come to City Hall, you are asked to go to Parliament to be screened for COVID-19 before coming to City Hall, where they do another screening. So double protection, seemingly doubling up of these COVID-19 safety protocols. And we know that tomorrow it's going to be taken up a notch when we see those road closures around not only the Grand Parade and the City Hall, but also in other parts of the CBD, and also in Newlands, where the President and various dignitaries will be travelling from.
And Monique, just very quickly, explain to me the logistics. Have they told you what they're going to do about the fact that people will not be able to speak from where they're sitting, right? They'd have to move to a mic that is close by. I know this normally doesn't happen, that politicians speak a lot during SONA, but you know, these days in South Africa, there's a lot of politicians who want to speak the president before the president actually addresses. But it looks like everybody will be sitting very far from like a sound system, a centralized sound system.
Yes, and this is something that we also spoke to Moloto Motapu about, asking him how will it work if MPs have point of order, a point of order to raise. He mentioned that they're still sorting that out, whether it will be a case of MPs raising their hands or whether microphones will be set up along the aisles. You can see that on the seats there are signs to say that MPs won't be allowed to sit close to each other, so there will be some spacing to allow them to maneuver if they need to. Motapu mentioned the fact that MPs may have to, once they've raised a point of order and are allowed to make that, have to come up onto the podium, onto the stage, where they'll then have to raise their point of order. But all of these logistics will definitely will be ironed out, and we can also find out more from those presiding officers once they arrive. I believe that they are being briefed at the moment before they come and speak to the media.
All right, Monique Mortlock at City Hall in Cape Town. Let's leave it there for now.